6:15 in Edea, same time in Douala in the Littoral region of Cameroon. Thanks for joining us on the 6:15 primetime newscast in the English language on Canal, the International. My name is Gladys Ambodiba. The headlines. People of Edea in the Sanaga Maritime Division have vented anger on politicians who have for the past several years deceived them into getting votes but later abandoned projects they had promised to undertake. They were talking following the deplorable state of roads in the town of Edea, which hamper their activities. And a drastic drop in the number of openings this year into the public service. Just 3,838 new personnel will be recruited this 2022, information disclosed by the Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reforms, Joseph Lee, this Thursday in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. Those were headlines. Developments right ahead. Good evening and thanks for joining us once again. We begin with the story from Edea in the Sanaga Maritime Division, where the population has lamented over the deteriorating state of roads in their areas. Large potholes have developed on different road axes, a situation that has been made worse with the rainy season. Commuters find it difficult to go about their activities and are forced or are confronted with sticky mud. They have the people say they are deceived by politicians who lied to them about their votes or plans to rehabilitate the roads only to get votes. You have more on that with Reginald Ketandak.
Edea, Sanaga Maritime Division of the Littoral region, a town reeling in degraded roads and potholes. While the main highway looks like all is well, sub-roads within the town, fondly called City of Light, is in deplorable state. During the elections, we were promised roads, but today Edea is a complete mess. Look at how bad the roads are. In the dry season, we're almost suffocated with dust. And in the rainy season, this is how deplorable the road is. Bike riders plying the road complain the situation is causing a toll on the activity as they have to repair their two-wheeled engine every now and then. Each time I transport one or two clients, I have to go to the garage to fix my motorbike. We can't cope. From the Quartier Banda to Biseke, Zanga, or administrative headquarters, the situation is the same as commuters find ways to navigate numerous potholes. When we met the mayor of Edea 1, he regretted the situation and said the population will have to wait. It is difficult to maintain roads in the rainy season. Our people need to be a little more patient. And they should also know we can only do what our budget permits. For now, the only choice the commuters are left with is to make do with the situation while hoping for better days. For now, the only choice the commuters are left with is to make do with the situation while hoping for better days.
And some 3,838 new personnel will be recruited into the public service this 2022, a drastic drop as compared to last year. The information was disclosed this Thursday in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, by the Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reform, while shedding more lights on government competitive entrance examinations. The details we have with Beatrice Ngamu.
Only 3,838 new persons will enter the state public service this 2022. The observation is twofold. A drop in the number of openings and exams into certain courses are out.
Recruitment projections for the current year have only targeted certain administrative financial and technical service corps in view of the priorities outlined in the National Development Strategy.
Areas concerned are training, competitive examinations, 480 core.
For future civil servants, including routine and common law sections of the National School of Administration and Magistracy, ENAM, of INGS, then of Senages.
Remaining opening includes recruitment into education colleges and special recruitment of higher education lecturers by MINESUP and contract grade 1 teachers by MINEDUP as usual.
2 selection tests for the recruitment of 100 grade 1 technical and vocational education instructors and 100 midwives.
The Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reform, Joseph Lee, adds that
all what we do is organized. Each administration expresses its needs. Then we take all of them. We send to the Prime Minister, head of government. And before the Prime Minister decides, he consults the Minister of Finance, asking him, Mr. Minister, do we think we can recruit 10,000 this year? Are you sure we will have the money to pay all of them? Because it's not good to just recruit and 3 months after you are not able to pay them.
Government blames it on budgetary constraints and the global economic situation. Clarification given by the minister this Thursday in Yaoundé.
And let's talk about the summer holidays that is drawing to its end. It's a time to prepare the holiday makers to join their families, a challenging moment for most households. The worry is the content of the traveling back of these holiday makers, what to accompany those children after spending wonderful time with their families. The details you have with Beatrice Gamo once again.
Many are of the opinion that return baggage is very necessary for holiday makers. According to the African traditional way of thinking and acting, holiday makers cannot return empty-handed. Choice of luggage content, the discretion of the household. While some go for basic foodstuff, others prefer school manuals. When a child comes to your home after the stay, you need to prepare the return bag, not forgetting bath rice for the grandmother. I'll buy school bag, exercise and textbooks, if possible, and uniform and shoes. Apart from the heavy bags, there are others who go for financial assistance. This either to the holiday maker or to support the parents better prepare them for school. The wonderful time spent together, others sees as very important, especially as it is not easy to feed so many mouths during the holiday with the expensive lifestyle today. And so, even if there is no special baggage, the time together very cherished and significant, as the children not only change towns or neighborhoods, but also go back with memorable lessons and souvenirs.
And we have development stakeholders in the Vina division in the Adamawa region of Cameroon that have expressed satisfaction with the regional development plan, which they say will serve as a guide to the development of the division as well as the region. The development plan was presented to authorities in the division, as we hear in this report.
In the era of decentralization and integrated participatory development, the regional council and decentralized local authorities are more than ever challenged to effectively play their role as craftsmen and local services in terms of local development. It is with this in mind that developmental stakeholders in the Vina Adamawa region of Cameroon have drawn up the regional development plan, which they presented at this workshop, chaired by the senior divisional officer from Vina, Yves Bertrand Awongfak.
You can see from the participation, from the contributions of the participants who are very committed in coming up with a very detailed diagnosis of the present situation, and then make projections in the future and see what are the various aspects on which we have to put in all our energy to better develop our division, and from that better develop the region at large.
It was an occasion for administrative authorities, heads of decentralized local communities, representatives of decentralized state services, traditional and religious leaders to exchange on the document that carries preliminary projects of the division. The exchanges enabled the participants to pinpoint certain aspects for corrections, remarks that were favorably received by the manager of the firm of experts in charge of implementing the document. According to the Regional Council President, Amadou Dewa, the document on the developmental plan, which highlights the assets, strengths and weaknesses of the Mvina, will serve as a compass for the development of the region.
And in obituary, let's talk about the last journey of Felix Tonyenbok, who died in the nation's capital on July 2, 2022. His mortal remains were removed from the Yaoundé General Hospital today, and in the presence of the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Narcisse Mwele Kombi, and other state officials, as well as football legends who were there to pay their last respects to the Minister of Sport, who hosted the first AFCON in Cameroon in 1972. Omokosumi tells us more.
Born on May 14, 1934, the Cameroonian politician who served in multiple ministerial roles like Minister of Youth and Sports, Agriculture, Post and Telecommunication, among others. A great leader whose name remains in the history of Cameroon, known as the main creator of the nickname Indomitable Lions, after the first African Cup of Nations organized in Cameroon in 1972.
People hated the national team, hated football, and was even insulting us. But thanks to the ideas he had, calling the national team the Indomitable Lions, he gave a great name. And it is thanks to that name that today Cameroon finds its name in football.
At the removal of his corpse in the Yaoundé General Hospital mortuary, this August 11, a number of government ministers came to pay their last homage. In the mind of Cameroon football legends for his hand-leading character while at the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
My greatest souvenir is that he took part in the signing of my first contract going to France, and he was the one who emphasized for the management of Valence FC to take it serious and respect it. I still say thanks, though he is no more. I will keep saying thanks to his family.
After funeral prayers at Our Lady of Victory Cathedral in Yaoundé and the wakekeeping at his residence this Thursday, the body of Felix Tonyenbok will be transported to his native Sodibanga village, Nyong and Kele division of the Central region, where he will be laid to rest on Saturday, August 13.
And still in obituary, the mortal remains of Clementine Antoinette Nanga Messina is now in Cameroon, died on August 5, 2022. The late Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Agriculture and Royal Development died at the Andulu Hospital of Istanbul, where she was hospitalized. The remains landed early this morning at the Yaoundé Simaleng Airport. The details once again with Umokosome.
It was about 1:40 a.m. this Thursday morning that the flight from Turkey landed in Cameroon at the Yaoundé Simaleng International Airport with the mortal remains of Clementine Antoinette Nanga Messina, who died 6 days ago at the age of 63. The family, friends and well-wishers all in tears. While on the Cameroonian soil, moments of prayers was given to the mortal remains of the Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development by the Bishop of Obala, His Lordship Sosten Leopold Beyini. The corpse, decorated in green, red, yellow, was received here by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Gabriel Bayrobe, and other cabinet ministers, and the corpse transported to the Yaoundé General Hospital mortuary.
We take you to Fumban in the known division of the West region of Cameroon to tell you about the popular ritual dance of the Bamon people called the Ndanji, which was originally meant for the royal blood. The dance, introduced by King Joya the 17th of the Ncharian dynasty, is to be enjoyed by many. Let's have the details on that with Stephanie Chin.
The Bamun Danji Royal Dance performs with body movements following its rhythm, a cultural display which only followers master. The Royal Dance Danji has a whole story behind it. The dance was initiated by King Joya the 17th of the Ncharian dynasty and is passed on from one generation to the other.
Ndanji is a dance, a music extremely reserved to the royal family, and the genesis of this music is linked to the creation of a new palace by King Joya at Mantou.
The Ndanji dance expresses love and joy, part and parcel of the Bamun custom. The balafon and the drum, amongst others, are instruments used for the majestical dance.
Nowadays, the music is so nice that everybody is really willing to be part of this musician. That is why some of the notables of the palace who are not from royal family also play the music.
Bamun has two different dances, which are the ritual dance, such as the Ndanji, and their popular dance.
It is without cultural story that we wrap up this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. The French edition will be yours at this never same count with Alain Ghislain Kanga. Up next is Debrief de l'Actualité with Lil Piedju. I will be yours again tomorrow, same time, God's willing. Bye-bye.